Welcome back, boys and girls, to another fun day of learning. Today we are looking at antonyms and going to do our read aloud of our story Half Chicken. So we're going to jump right into it. So one of your focus skills for lesson 24 is, what is an antonym? We've talked a lot about antonyms and synonyms this year. Antonyms are words with opposite meanings. So like big, small, happy, sad.
Antonym. An antonym is a word that means the opposite of another word. Some examples of antonyms include happy and sad, big and little, wet and dry, up and down, day and night, hot and cold, young and old, in and out, add and subtract, multiply and divide, before and after, even and odd, pass and fail. Many adjectives and adverbs, that is, descriptive words, have antonyms. Many verbs or action words do as well. That is, pairs of words that mean two opposite things, to do or not do something, such as win and lose, wake and sleep, float and sink, ascend and descend, appear and vanish. You get the idea. Sometimes antonyms are completely different words, but sometimes they're just that word with a prefix or a little part added on at the beginning. Some common prefixes to change a word to an antonym are im, in, un, and dis, dis. Disorder is the antonym of order. Incomplete is the opposite of complete. Unauthorized is the opposite of authorized. Impolite is the antonym of polite. But remember, that doesn't mean that every word that starts with those prefixes is an antonym. We could continue listing antonyms, but instead I think we'll stop. Hey, continue and stop is another set of antonyms. While every word might not have an antonym, antonyms really are everywhere.
All right, boys and girls, so we just want to remind you as well that antonyms, you can use your context clues, your words around the unknown word to help you. For example, let's look at this sentence. It says the sun was too hot, so we sat in the cool shade. The two antonyms in that sentence are hot and cool. And if you weren't sure what they meant, you could use sun, would help you know what the word hot meant. And cool, you could use the word shade. So we know that shade could mean either an umbrella could keep you shaded or a nice tree could keep you shaded to keep you cool. So the antonyms in this sentence are hot and cool. Now it's your turn. Which two words are antonyms? Can you find them? The words are old, new, cool, young. Which two words are the antonyms? You could do old and young. You could do old or new. Which two words are the antonyms here? You have dark, turn, light, bulb. Well, if you're talking about what a room, when you turn the light on or off, you could use dark and light. Now it's your turn. So we have one of our Reader's Notebook pages, Vocabulary Strategy from Half Chicken, on antonyms. If you want a larger copy of the page, you can click here and it'll take you to a Google document with a larger copy. If not, you can go ahead and just do it right here on this screen. The directions say, circle the word that is the opposite of the bold word. Let's look at number one together. I like to swim in the deep end of the pool. So think of a pool that you've gone to. The shallow end is the end that you walk into. The deep end is usually the end that has a diving board or a sliding board. Oh, I'm sorry, boys and girls, I jumped ahead. Let me go back there. So, deep, we know does not mean shallow, okay? Because we just said a shallow is the section we walk into. So that's its opposite match. Okay, it's very different than synonyms. Let's do number two together yet. The beginning of the story was my favorite part. So if you think of a story and it's at the beginning, it's at the very front of the book, what is the opposite of the front or beginning of the book? Is it the start or the end? That's right, boys and girls, it's the end of the book. All right, I want you to go ahead. You should have number 1 and 2 correct because we just did it together. So deep, shallow, beginning, end. Opposites. You're going to find the opposite for 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? When you're done with that, we're going to go ahead and go to the next screen that I gave you a little preview of, and we have a read aloud from our Journeys book of the story. I'm going to go ahead and move to that slide now. If you need to pause me, you can go ahead and do that.
'24. Anchor text. Genre. A folk tale is a kind of traditional tale. As you read, look for a simple plot that teaches a lesson. Animal characters who talk and act like people. Meet the author. Alma Flor Ada. Alma Flor Ada comes from a family of storytellers. She first heard the story of Half Chicken from her grandmother. It was one of her favorites as a child. She loved the folktale so much that she decided to write her own retelling of it. Illustrator, Kim Howard. Kim Howard has illustrated more than 25 children's books. Her style is full of color and detail. When she is not illustrating, she is painting and making collages. She also teaches students all over the world about art. Half Chicken by Alma Flor Ada. Illustrated by Kim Howard. Essential question. Why are some stories told over and over again? Ever seen a weather vane? Do you know why there is a little rooster on one end spinning around to let us know which way the wind is blowing? Well, I'll tell you. It's an old, old story that my grandmother once told me. And before that, her grandmother told it to her. It goes like this. A long, long time ago, on a Mexican ranch, a mother hen was sitting on her eggs. One by one, the baby chicks began to hatch, leaving their empty shells behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 chicks had hatched, but the last egg still had not cracked open. The hen did not know what to do. The chicks were running here and there, and she could not chase after them because she was still sitting on the last egg. A tiny sound. The baby chick was egg from the inside. The hen quickly helped it break open the shell, and at last the 13th chick came out into the world. Yet this was no ordinary chick. He had only one wing, only one leg, only one eye, and only half as many feathers as the other chicks. It was not long before everyone at the ranch knew that a very special chick had been born. The ducks told the turkeys. The turkeys told the pigeons. The pigeons told the swallows. And the swallows flew over the fields, spreading the news to the cows grazing peacefully with their calves, the fierce bulls, and the swift horses. Hen was surrounded by animals who wanted to see the strange chick. One of the ducks said, "But he only has one wing." And one of the turkeys added, "Why, he's only a half chicken." From then on, everyone called him Half Chicken, and Half Chicken, finding himself at the center of all this attention, became very vain. One day, he overheard the swallows, who traveled a great deal, talking about him. Not even at the court of the viceroy in Mexico City is there anyone so unique. Then Half Chicken decided that it was time for him to leave the ranch. Early one morning, he said his farewells, announcing, "Goodbye, goodbye. I am off to Mexico City to see the court of the viceroy." And hip hop, off he went, hippity hopping along on his only foot. Chicken had not walked very far when he found a stream whose waters were blocked by some branches. "Good morning, Half Chicken. Would you please move the branches that are blocking my way?" asked the stream. Half Chicken moved the branches aside, but when the stream suggested that he stay a while and take a swim, he answered, "I have no time to lose. I'm off to Mexico City to see the court of the viceroy." And hip hop, off he went, hippity hopping along on his only foot. A little while later, Half Chicken found a small fire burning between some rocks. The fire was almost out. "Good morning, Half Chicken. Please fan me a little with your wing, for I am about to go out," asked the fire. Half Chicken fanned the fire with his wing, and it blazed up again. But when the fire suggested that he stay a while and warm up, he answered, "I have no time to lose. I'm off to Mexico City to see the court of the viceroy." And hip hop, off he went, hippity hopping along on his only foot. After he had walked a little farther, Half Chicken found the wind tangled in some bushes. "Good morning, Half Chicken. Would you please untangle me so that I can go on my way?" asked the wind. Half Chicken untangled the branches, but when the wind suggested that he stay and play and offered to help him fly here and there like a dry leaf, he answered, "I have no time to lose. I'm off to Mexico City to see the court of the viceroy." And hip hop, off he went, hippity hopping along on his only foot. At last, he reached Mexico City. Half Chicken crossed the enormous great plaza. He passed the stalls laden with meat, fish, vegetables, fruit, cheese, and honey. He passed the Perion, the market where all kinds of beautiful goods were sold. Finally, he reached the gate of the viceroy's palace. "Good afternoon," said Half Chicken to the guards in fancy uniforms who stood in front of the palace. "I've come to see the viceroy." One of the guards began to laugh. The other one said, "You'd better go in around the back and through the kitchen." So Half Chicken went, hip hop, around the palace and to the kitchen door. The cook who saw him said, "What luck! This chicken is just what I need to make a soup for the viceroy." And he threw Half Chicken into a kettle of water that was sitting on the fire. When Half Chicken felt how hot the water was, he said, "Oh, fire, help me! Please don't burn me." Answered, "You helped me when I needed help. Now it's my turn to help you. Ask the water to jump on me and put me out." Then Half Chicken asked the water, "Oh, water, help me! Please jump on the fire and put him out so he won't burn me." And the water answered, "You helped me when I needed help. Now it's my turn to help you." And he jumped on the fire and put him out. When the cook returned, he saw that the water had spilled and the fire was out. "This chicken has been more trouble than he's worth," exclaimed the cook. "Besides, one of the ladies in waiting just told me that the viceroy doesn't want any soup. She wants to eat nothing but salad." And he picked Half Chicken up by his only leg and flung him out the window. When Chicken was tumbling through the air, he called out, "Oh, wind, help me, please." And the wind answered, "You helped me when I needed help. Now it's my turn to help you." And the wind blew fiercely. He lifted Half Chicken higher and higher until the little rooster landed on one of the towers of the palace. From there, you can see everything you want, Half Chicken, with no danger of ending up in the cooking pot. And from that day on, weathercocks have stood on their only leg, seeing everything that happens below, and pointing whichever way their friend, the wind, blows.
Okay, boys and girls, after the read aloud, you have an option of a few extension activities. So, the first activity that you'll see here is how to make a wind vane, not a weather vane, Mrs. Vasquez. I'll go back and fix that then for your slide when I send it to you. But it says STEM, which is a science, technology, engineering, math connection. Breezy weather. Help your young scientist relate to weather across his or her community and state, and make a wind vane, a simple version of a classic scientific measurement tool. So if you click here, it'll take you to a PDF file that is larger to show you how to make the vane. But I do have the steps right here for you as well if you just want to stay on this slide and not click around. That's activity 1 you can choose from. Activity 2 and 3 are on this slide. Activity 2, exploring cause. This should say cause. Need to fix that too. Cause and effect, a deeper understanding. So this is going to, if you click here, it's going to take you to a website which will walk you through several activities. The one is another read aloud. I believe that's activity 2 on this site. I would skip that because you just listened to the read aloud already, so you don't need to do that again. So make sure you're skipping over that read aloud. Another optional activity is, what is a wind vane and how does it work? You can explore this website to learn more amazing things about wind vanes. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you had a really, really great ELA lesson today, talking about antonyms and doing our read aloud. See you tomorrow.